to a Tuesday night shiur. Moray Rabotai, Chaverai. We are in Parashat Kititze. Before we start, you were saying something. What were you saying? People are dropping out of college, like hot potatoes.
Well, like flies. Yeah.
Like flies, they start college and they drop out of college. That's because when they started, they didn't know what they were doing. You have to learn a klal in life. When someone has a goal, usually he'll achieve it. It's only the people that don't have goals, they try to be people pleasers. I'm a very big advocate of not being a people pleaser. Because regardless what you do in your life, someone's going to get hurt. And if they're not there for you, then their opinion doesn't matter. A person that really cares for someone will accept the reality of his choices. Of course, if it goes on the guidelines of the Torah Mitzvot, of course. And even if it doesn't go, doesn't mean you have to cut a person off. It should never have happened to that point, but you're going to cut off, God forbid, should a person cut off his kid because he's falling off the derech? Mm-hmm. You're saying no because you grew up in somewhat of a normal community. I call Queens a very healthy community, you should know that. But if you take that in the mainstream world, they would say kick him out. That's not a positive outlook in life. It's very chitzoni, it's very dark. Uri Zohar, when his son was falling off the derech, he went to ask a sheila. He said, what to do with the son? I want to kick him out of the house. He might be mashpia. He might convince all my other kids. You know what the Talmid Chacham said? I don't remember who it was. I don't really remember who it was, but he said, the Rav said, kick all the other kids out of the house and leave that kid at home. Oh. Why? Because the fact that he fell off the derech is because something's missing. You just didn't catch it. So now you have to spend more time in order to build it. And I see it all the time with guys. All the time. They go places or they go to Eretz Yisrael, they want to run away from their parents, this, that. And boom, if they find the right connection with the right person, they'll grow and flourish. You were in yeshiva for 12 years in America. Well, why didn't you flourish? They didn't have the connection. And you ask why we're doing that. It's because we shouldn't lose more boys and girls. If they fly like hot potatoes, like flies, are getting off the derech, or they're living a fake life. It's very sad. The worst thing you can do is live a fake life. So how do you fix that? To be genuine. To be genuine to who you are. How do you want to sustain and function, have a functioning, proper family?
Yeah, but there's a little bit of a problem with that.
Well, what's the problem with that?
If somebody's genuine,
I realize when you want to talk with intelligence, you start to change your tone of voice.
No.
Go ahead.
No, if somebody's true to himself and wants to drive a car before Hester and Shabbat, and he really doesn't care about how people look at him, his entire family's name will get destroyed. Like,
that's where you're. Are we caring about the person now or about the family name?
The person himself. If he's doing it, then he won't care. Then
okay. No. But what was your tana? What's your tana over here?
If I'm doing it for myself and I really don't care what anybody else thinks in regards to religion.
I just want to put it out there. I don't agree in driving a car on Shabbos.
I understand.
Okay. Some people don't. Some people are very crum, right? So. But if a person wants to drive a car on Shabbos, and he's saying the only reason why I'm not doing it is because I don't ruin my family's name, that's a great way of him not breaking Shabbos. But it doesn't fix the inner problem of him wanting to drive a car on Shabbat.
Yeah, precisely my point.
So your person has to go and meditate and say, well, why do I have this tava? Now people usually that want to not keep Torah Mitzvot don't ask themselves this question. They don't ask why I don't, unless they're in the level of gadlut, they want to start growing. Or they're in the level of tzimtzum, of katnut, whatever that means. Or for them, in the level of wanting to grow. But if a person doesn't want to grow, he's not growth oriented. And if he wants to drive a car on Shabbat, I promise you he's already doing Chilul Shabbat. Just a Chilul Shabbat that no one can see. Chilul Shabbat that no one sees. Who said that's better than driving a car?
No one.
Then he gets married. The girl gets married to, has assumption, he keeps Torah mitzvot. And he doesn't. And what happens? You say this, right? I don't believe in that. Unless it comes to cheating. I don't believe in that. I'm a firm believer of not believing. I believe every relationship is workable. It's just a question of communication that needs to be done properly. I'm a firm believer. I've seen it. I do it. I do it. I dealt with abusive relationships, both physical and mentally. I dealt with relationships of beyond your understanding, neglect to another level. It's all a question of princip. Who has the last word? Who's going to show dominance? It's a miscommunication, a misunderstanding of how to deal with another party. Unfortunately, they don't teach this. Right? To be a normal spouse and to be a normal father or mother to raise kids, it has been forgotten. These traits are very rare. They kimat don't exist almost, especially in the modern world. They don't exist. Like someone asked me yesterday, what's the proper way of parenting? Gentle parenting or tough parenting? He asked me. He said, which way do we go? Right? I said, they're both wrong. Just parenting is proper. You have to be, at times you have to be gentle, and at times you have to be tough. You have to know how to balance it out, that the kids, the relationship, the spouse, whatever it is, grow a sense of, to be samastayatsin, they can hold themselves high, and to train themselves to be proper. Most people become mama boys is because their mother mommy them. And then when they want to get married and continue starting their life, they can't do it. Why? Because the kid he never grew up. He's always with mommy for the rest of his life. That's a problem. That's what it is. Who's the oivecha? It's you yourself. You are your own good and you are your own bad. That's what it is. This whole world is a self fight. What does the Gaon Vilna say? It's easier for me to learn all the Shas and Poskim, but to change one trait is the hardest thing. That's why not every Talmid Chacham is a tzaddik. It's true. It's a fact. I know Talmid Chachamim that are going straight to Gehinnom if they even reach there. That's what it is. So I said at the end of the day, it's all about Pnimut Avodah Pnimut, working on oneself to becoming a better person. Through doing that, you don't have to now recall your whole life, and maybe if it's not, it has nothing to do with anything right now. Lamasa, at the end of the day, for you, a person has to say, Ma tachlit sheli, what is my purpose? What do I have to do? What do I have to work? You have to work on becoming the best you, best individual. How do I do that? You have to start. Learning Torah, finding a mentor, going in the right way, and so on and so forth. Ta'avot is not a bad thing. Ta'avot is something that drives you. Ta'avot means desires, right? It's not a bad thing for a girl to say, I want to look beautiful. The same way how it's not a bad thing for a guy to say, I want to make a lot of money. Now the question is, why? Is he saying he wants to make a lot of money because he wants to prove something or do something, or he wants to say, when I make a lot of money, I'm going to use it to do good with it in the world. Change the world. If a girl says, I want to look beautiful, are you doing it to be provocative and to seek attention? Are you doing it to look like a bat melech? Give your husband that attention and love. Show your daughters it's okay. It's perfectly fine to look a certain way and go up with your head high and to show that you're a Jew. You're not a schmuck. Why you see these ladies and then they look like they're half dilapidated. They look like they're dying. That's a bat Yisrael should look like she's dying, like this. I have 3 kids, I can't handle it. Why is she there? We all had once upon a time 3, 4, 5 kids. They were not dying. Why are you dying? Why? I tell you why you're dying. Because you allowed yourself to rely always on someone else. You weren't disciplined properly to understand the concept of learning how to be a normal, functioning human being. You always were aligned. That's where chinuch in this generation is destroyed. We don't allow our kids or our spouses to take initiative. Everything needs to be questioned. Everything needs to be answered. Why are fathers calling me regarding their kids getting married? How come the kid's not calling? How come? Where's the initiative? What's going on? How come kids can't pick the future they want to get into? The industry. How come the parents need to pick it for them? What's the pshat? That's a problem. Don't think too much. I want you to I'm telling you this not because of your circumstance, but the circumstances that one day you're going to have with your wife and kids. Don't allow this. It really is a very big Uzbek ideology. To just be controlling and controlling and controlling and controlling. Very nasty. It's disgusting. Well, I was discussing with someone recently, what is the mitzvah of Kibud Avayim? I said, translate the words for me. Honoring your parents. Not being a slave to your parents. It's two different things. Slavery is to be an Eved. Respecting and honoring is kavod. It's two different things. I remember I had a Rebbe. This is what changed my view on Kibud Avayim. There are fathers that command or demand, and there are fathers that request. He never demanded anything from his son. He always said, if you can, if you have time, if you this, if that. Why? He said, I never want to make it that my son should be chayav that he didn't do something that I wanted him to do. So I always asked it as a request, not as a need, but if you have time. In the other hand, you have parents that just like throw all the burden on the kid. I need you to do this right now. I want you to do this right now. Give me this, do me this, do me. Yeah, you have to do it because that's the halakha, but why are you presenting the mitzvah in such a disgusting fashion? And then the kids grow up and they don't want to respect their parents. And what do? They raise their kids in an orderly fashion that they can do whatever they want. And now there's no discipline at all. And then when they grow up, they're like behemoth animals. And this is all because the right foundations weren't set. And why is this so difficult? Because the generation went through such a quasi change so fast that in our parents, like not yours, my parents' time, the level of respect that needed to be to their parents was unconditional. And their parents was not, the concept of unconditional didn't even exist. Us, how we were raised, was very quasi-stage. And our kids are getting raised like barbarians. You can do whatever you want. Because there is no set of regulations. And this is why I post on social media. If you don't have social media, don't ever get it. But this is why I post. Because there's such a huge gap in the generations that people don't know how to balance. Balance has been forgotten. It was never needed until this generation came into fruition. There was responsibilities, duties, obligations. And later on in your life, if you get to the idea of having a want or a dream, then you can do it. Before then, there was no such thing. Carry out whatever needed to be carried out. So when people go through this stage and that's why there's so much divorce. This is the answer why. The answer of so much divorce is because there is no proper structure. I do what I want. I feel the way I want to feel. I am what I want to be. No, there needs to be a balance. You have to integrate that with responsibilities, duties, and relationship. If you can't do that, what happens? Everything tumbles down. Oh, he was disrespectful. Oh, he hit me, she hit me, this, that. Yeah, these are all bad things. These shouldn't happen. But if they do happen, you don't run away from it. You figure out how to deal with it. I always tell this to my couples. You're talking in FM and he's talking in AM. You gotta change the radio to be able to talk in the same frequency. You guys are talking in different frequencies. So what happens? Can't understand each other. One of you have to bend down to the other person's frequency. The second you can bend down to the other person's frequency, what happens? The whole thing changes. Why are you thinking too much? It's not healthy for you. You thinking means you don't know something. That's bothering you. What I'm telling you, you can't learn. What I'm telling you, you can't learn this. The only way you can learn this is by actually following people that live this way. You need a mentor. In order to understand what I'm saying, you actually need a mentor to teach it to you. That's why shimush, as the Gemara says, is greater than limud. Because shimush is the ultimate limud. I was talking to a lawyer the other day about something. He's a Choshen Mishpat lawyer. He deals with wills, he deals with trusts, he deals with donations, money, lawsuits. And we were getting into the inyanim, and he said, I have dayanim, I have judges call me to explain to them how to put together the American law, which is Dina Malchut Dina, to the Choshen Mishpat Halach. How can they be related together? Why? Because he's a person that's practical, he lives it. I can teach you how to do shechita from today to tomorrow, but until you don't have a chicken and a knife in front of you, you won't know anything. That's why in medical school, education school, law school, you need to go through what? At the end of your book learning, you need to go through what?
Practicals.
Exactly. You need to take rotations. Why? Because you gotta learn on the job. I did Hatzalah. It was fun, it was gishmak. You know where I actually learned? On the job, on the phone. On the call. Before that, it's all fun, it's nice, it's games, you're chilling with the boys, you're enjoying, But Lamais, at the end of the day, when you have the guy that's dying right in front of you, you say, CPR, start. Like, what do I do? Find the middle and knock away, baby. And that's it. And you hear the bones. And you're like, oh my God, what am I doing? Yes, deeper. Hey, you have to be careful, you're gonna puncture a lung. You have to, right? They teach you on the job, but the guy is dead already. They know he's dead. He's cold. So why they do it? Because they wait for these small little trainees that come in. They're like, start. Plus, we cannot announce that someone's dead. You need a paramedic or a doctor to come in and to say, they write it, they put it on the forehead, whatever the whole case is, right? So where do you actually learn? You learn Lamaisa. Lamaisa, you need practicality. You can't say, I'll learn about the warfare and I'll never fight. What does that mean? You're not a warrior then. If you go to the war, God will give it to you. If you stay behind and wait for a miracle, God will not give it to you. Because the greatest miracle is when you can actually go do your own ishtabut. People are forgetting that. That's a miracle on its own. To give you that koach to continue going is a huge miracle. We don't look at it that way because we grew up with this idea and this thought that you have to be you have to be like a dog, a slave. No, you have to only be a slave to God. Change how you think, your whole life will change. Take away that primitivity, put godliness inside, your whole ideology changes. I don't even want to talk about this. It became very depressing. You're thinking too much. He doesn't even want to laugh anymore. Does anyone have any questions?
Yes.
Say your question.
In due time.
No, in due time. You see, how I told you before, your wisdom can either kill you or it can bring you up. Right now, it's killing you. Go ahead.
Can we go back to what
That was your question?
Yeah,
You didn't have a question. You had a statement. So that's different. So you lie. You have to do tshuva for that. I'm just joking. Okay, right? You had a statement, right? Okay, go ahead. No, ask it now. You don't know how many people benefit. Don't be shy. People benefit. People actually benefit. You'd be surprised. One of your questions, a person will see it online. Let's say not today. Let's say in 15 years from now, right? He'll watch it. Your question could have helped somebody. Should I say your name? You're gonna for sure ask me. I'm not gonna say your name. Go ahead.
Ask later.
Shem Yerachem, you see? Ask. Ask. I'm not gonna answer later. I'm not gonna answer.
This is what happens when you have too
No.
much intelligence.
No! Making everyone wait.
But the pressure is on.
I should have brought the math sweater maybe, but if
Maybe. I'm doing calculus in my head just
No.
thinking about this thing now. Where does one draw the line between like knowing that your tefillah is answered or not? Like theory or reality? Like you pray to Hashem, and you don't see anything changing.
See, this is a problem that we have. I'm going to reiterate the whole thing that you said right now. I'm going to change the whole thing right now. Prayer shouldn't be because we want something. Prayer should be because we want to connect. Getting what you ask for or not getting what you ask for has to come out both to the same result. Which is what? Regardless if I get it or if I don't get it, I know that the one I'm asking it from is going to do what's good for me. The fact that you asked it and you didn't get it, you should say thank you. Why? Because that means it wasn't for you.
And if you're in a state of you don't know if you got it or not, you're just waiting. Then what?
I don't understand the question now. I understand it, but I don't. I need you to give me like a scenario on such a thing. Passing a test situation.
No.
Okay, then what?
Like you get a certain task given to you. I'm giving an example vague, and it's not my example.
No, you don't have to worry.
A person gets a certain task.
Correct.
And he then prays to God for assistance. And yet, the task just doesn't get completed. And he's not sure why or how or what to do with this task. And he's just, what am I doing? Why am I praying?
He's lost then.
No, it's maybe because he doesn't need the assistance. He has to believe in himself that he can do it himself.
And just do it.
Correct. You relying on help can be your biggest downfall in the world. Maybe the assistance you actually needed was asking God to assist you, not look for someone else to come to assist you. That's the problem. We're looking for someone to always help us, not knowing that the only person that can actually help you is yourself. I want you never to forget that. Fixing yourself means only you can do it. Or sometimes you need a push, you need some guidance. Yes, but who's going to do the legwork at the end of the day? You. That's what it comes down to. So our whole understanding of tefillah right now has to change. We're looking at it in a very dark, chitzoni place. I ask, I should get. I don't ask, that means I'm not, God doesn't like me. Whoa. Who said? It's Christian ideology, I'm just letting you know. It's huge, that's a Christian way of thinking. That is not a Jewish way of thinking.
We ask for Yerushalayim to be rebuilt. We ask to do tshuva. We ask for tshuva to be accepted. We ask for
My
wisdom.
Rebbe told me when someone says in Shmona Esrei, right? What's the tefillah for tshuva? And he says what? Okay, what's the Baruch Atah Hashem? At that moment, he did tshuva. If for 1 second you think that your tshuva wasn't accepted, you're a kofar b'ikar.
No, what happens if you don't think about doing tshuva in that moment? You just
So
say
that means you didn't daven. That's a different problem. If a person doesn't know what he's saying during tefillah, he didn't daven. He's reading. You cannot daven, you cannot fall in love with God if you don't understand what you're saying when you pray. After you understand what you pray, you have to understand how you can relate it to you personally. One second. When you pray and you say Shomea Tefillah, at that moment you have to understand God listens to all of your prayers. And if you think He's ignoring you, you're not a believer. You said Shem Hashem's name for nothing. And for a Sfaradi like us, that's a Doraita, that's not a Darbana.
What is?
Saying Hashem's name in vain. What's your question?
In the morning, right? You pray for Shaharit. Say people are going ahead of you and you're reading slow. Is it better to do Shaharit? Is it better to pray by yourself or just follow along with them? Not understanding, just going with.
You can pray by yourself.
Yeah.
As long as you're in the room with the minion. Don't do it at home privately.
No, it's with them.
Do it in the shul. Go slow and read word for word. You can do that. You can do that. Anything else? Okay, we're gonna go back there now. This is what I want to talk about. This week's parasha talks about a lot of laws. It's full of laws. Full. Interesting laws. We have a very weird mitzvah in this week's parasha. I think actually this mitzvah is weird in general. What is it? Shluach HaKen. Shluach HaKen is a very, very not orthodox mitzvah. What I mean by not orthodox, it's totally opposite of what we've been taught all our life. We've been taught to have sensitivity, be just, have mercy. And what do? We take a bird to love life. We take a bird that has its fertile eggs or its baby chicks, like very, very young, that they still don't have hair, their hair is still like yellowy. Take the mother bird and shoo it away. That's crazy. That's very weird. What kind of mitzvah is this? And what do the rabbis say? It's a mitzvah because when we're in Galut, Shechina is crying, it's a reminder to God, Maybe, maybe not, who knows, who doesn't know. But we got it in where? We got it in the Torah. This was before Beit HaMikdash, this was before all this stuff. What's this pshat here? It's a muzar mitzvah, it's a very weird mitzvah. Does anyone have an explanation to this mitzvah? Go ahead.
Hashem said it, you gotta do it.
I didn't ask that right now. I said you just don't have an explanation to the mitzvah.
What do you mean?
Why?
Why? Because Hashem said it.
Because Hashem said so.
Yeah. Hashem said something, you gotta do it.
That's not a that's the ultimate.
But Hashem said, yeah, it makes sense, it doesn't make sense for our understanding, it doesn't matter.
No.
Hashem said not to deal it, not to deal it.
No, why can't you kill? Because it's wrong. You're taking someone's life away. Why can't you steal? Because it's wrong. No, yeah, okay. Why can't you take away? Why have you take away the burden from the baby eggs? Because what?
Your reasoning is ultimately the answer, but that's not the reason.
Oh, I don't know.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
You can't. You could always say because God said so. You could. But in the realm of humans that are not as holy as you are, they're looking for a reason. Why?
I also look for a reason, but at the end of the day, that is the ultimate reason.
Because God said so.
Yeah.
Correct. I agree with you. I'm not gonna disagree with you.
So that's it.
Okay. I guess we finished the shiur today. Because God said so.
It's like what?
I'm joking. We're gonna continue. Of course, we're gonna continue.
What was the question again? I didn't hear it.
Okay, I'll say it again. There is a mitzvah that we were commanded in this week's Torah portion that said if you're walking on the street and you see a bird nest, it has to be at night. People don't know this. It has to be after midnight actually, because after midnight the mother bird comes, and during the day the father bird comes, and the mitzvah is for the mother bird to go away, not the father bird. But we'll talk about it at a different time. You see a nest, and the mother is on the eggs, trying to give it the normal amount of heat for it to hatch. There's a mitzvah to go to the nest and to shoo away the mother bird and to take the eggs and to take the chicks.
I heard about this before.
Yeah, I've done it many times. I was okay to do it in Yerushalayim, Yirah Kodesh.
Wow. That means you're gonna live a
And
long
right
time.
after that, I had a child.
So it's good luck.
It's a school to have kids and to have a house. I actually bought my house also that year. That year. I did it many times, but after in Yerushalayim was a big siyata d'shmaya, like a lot of things opened up for me.
I thought
Dafka, in general, some people have a certain mazal when they go to Eretz Yisrael and they go back, like things happen to them. My wife has that. Every time she goes to Eretz Yisrael, she comes back. It's always like a Yeshua that happens. I don't know. Okay, but that has nothing to do with anything. That's just side part. I don't know why I mentioned that. It's my personal life.
in the
Okay,
Torah it
next.
says you're gonna live a long time if you do it.
Yeah.
So that what does that have to do with your child and getting a house and so on?
No, it also has to do with getting a house.
Good mazal.
How do we know this? Because the same pasuk of Kan Tzipor, I have to find it, because now you just got me to the stage of irritation.
It's at the end of the second aliyah.
What?
It's at the end of the second aliyah.
I'm trying to find it. 1 second.
You see when you have a Baal Torah here?
Here. I found it. I think I found it. 1 second. Sorry, Rabbi Sai. Okay. How do we know it's connected? What does the Gemara say? Because the pasuk right after sending the bird away, what's the next pasuk? Ki tivne bayit chadash, that you shall buy a house. And what's the next mitzvah after building a house? Putting a gate. And what's after putting a gate?
July?
That you make a new field.
Yeah.
Make a new field. Parnasa. Mitzvah goreret mitzvah. Right? Mitzvah goreret mitzvah. When you do one positive thing, a second thing positive happens. Do a second thing, a third one. That's why schar mitzvah mitzvah, schar avera, a reward for a mitzvah is really to do another mitzvah. A reward for a sin is to do another sin. How does that make sense? That's so weird.
For a sin, it's another sin.
Yeah, I'll explain to you what that means. A person has to get to the mental stage that the greatest Olam Haba, which means heaven, has nothing to do with pleasure. It has to do with doing another mitzvah. To the point when you do mitzvah, you have to feel high. That's why schar mitzvah. The reward of doing a mitzvah is doing another mitzvah. But they don't teach this to us this way. But that's the reality.
So you do it until you don't think about it being a mitzvah.
No, you do it not for any reward. That's also another Christian in Muslim ideology. We don't do things because we want a reward. The Rambam says that's for little kids. Little kids think that way. And Halachot Shuvah Perek Bet, like little kids think about doing things for good, for punishment, and for reward. We're not doing it for punishment or reward. We're doing it because we have to do the word of God. Because God said so. God said so because ultimately there is really no reason why we do anything. We really do because God said so. This is the greatest pleasure. The greatest pleasure is to serve unconditionally. Now let's get back to what I really want to talk about. Does anyone have any questions before
Yes.
I continue? Go ahead.
How do you fulfill this mitzvah properly?
What?
Just
Slow up
slow-
again?
yeah. You shoo away the mother birds, you take the chicks, then what? What happens after? What do
You can put back the chicks.
So you shoo away the mother bird, you take the chicks, you pick them up like this, and you put it back in the
Correct.
shop?
That's it.
Is there like a bracha you say?
We
or-
don't say the bracha nowadays. There's a machloket in the Gemara. Does Efrahaya mean the baby chicks, or does it mean the actual eggs? So I did both. I was zochet to do both in my life. More than once or twice. I did it many times actually, this mitzvah. Many times. Like over 50 times I've done this mitzvah.
Where do you find that?
I have a place that I go to.
You only do it with kosher birds? Yes.
Yeah, kosher birds. Not only that, I actually have this right now in my backyard. I have a nest. They're building a nest. I know they're already coming. They're already coming to my house.
How can we come to your house? to do the
Absolutely not.
mitzvah?
It's my mitzvah.
But how do you get them to come to your
I don't get to go anywhere.
Can multiple people partake in this mitzvah?
Who?
Can multiple people partake in this mitzvah?
I don't think so.
Only one person chooses it?
Yeah. Unless it comes back. My experience, Israeli birds never come back. Once they go, they go. As it says in the Gemara. American birds come back. American birds come back. That's not kosher one. That's a robin.
Yeah.
They're not kosher. You can't do a mitzvah on that.
How do you know if they're
The color of the egg. I study these things. I like animals. You don't you see? Just joking. What? Mammal humans are also animals. Don't get so. Because it can be worse than the animals in the zoo too. Trust me. Understand? So those are blue. The blue eggs are robin eggs, and those are not kosher. But yeah, you know what my real answer is to you? I'll tell you. When a person seeks to do mitzvot, the mitzvot come after you. When a person doesn't seek to do it, regardless if it's right in front of you, you'll never notice it. That's why when I ask people that are already 28, 29, they say, why you're not married? I didn't find the right one. I said, BS. You don't really want to get married. So they blame, oh, you can't get married when you're young. Nonsense. Anyone that says that doesn't know anything about marriage. Absolutely nothing. They're not mature enough. No. Since you have a miserable life and a miserable marriage, doesn't mean that everyone that's young cannot have a happy marriage. Yeah, there's work. There's footwork, my friend. It's a lot of footwork. Doesn't mean now you can't do it. You could do it. Anyone can do it. You just need to do the footwork. Anyone that wants stuff easy, that's not, our Torah doesn't teach us to do things because it's comfortable or because it's easy. Lahefech, the exact opposite. Being an observant Jew is not easy. But it's well rewarding. Not rewarding because of the afterlife or something that they told us. Because you feel a sense of accomplishment in this world. Because true afterlife is in which world, do you know? This world. That's why there is the resurrection of the dead. If it was all about there, then why did we come back here? Did you hear what I just told you?
say that again?
I said, if it's all about going to heaven, meaning the world of souls, right? Then why did we ask to come back here? We were there already. We were chilling. It has to be that the most important or the goal of our existence is where?
Here.
It's here. So when you come and say, "Oh, it's difficult," congratulations. You made it to the big leagues. How many people are in college or in high school, they sweat in order to play in the NFL or the NBA or whatever? How many of them actually make it to the leagues? 2%? 3%?
0.02.
Okay, there you go, 0.02%. And you are on this earth. Just you being able to exist, you needed to fight a war. And you're here right now. Instead of being happy and excited and embracing all the challenges, you come with tlunot, you come with complaints. I don't know. It's the exact opposite of why we're here. I hope I'm not screwing anyone's brain to how to think in life a little different.
No.
Just, I want you to be normal at the end of the day. Even with all the math and science you might know. Because a person has to understand, I'm here, meaning I'm doing something right. I did something right to come back to this world. What does the Rambam say? If someone doesn't believe in the resurrection, he doesn't believe in the whole Torah.
Why something right?
What?
Something right? He did something right come back?
I said that 2 seconds ago.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he did something right. Because the whole tachlit of our existence is to be here. How do I know? Where's your, quote unquote, where does your connection of God really come from?
Within you.
From here, in this world. In the next world, it's revealed. There is no trying even. There is, if you want to go from world to world, we won't talk about that. But the revealment is already there. Where is the revealment concealed and closed?
Here.
Here.
For now.
That's how we have to work in order to see it. Question?
Yes. So when Mashiach comes, right?
I don't know.
No. Whenever Mashiach comes,
I don't know.
will it be revealed?
That's called revealment.
Mashiach coming is the revealment.
Correct. Not because of him, but because of the message he's going to say that God put in his mouth. We don't worship Mashiach. We're totally different. We're not Christian and we're not Muslim. They both believe Yoshka is Mashiach, actually. I just want you to know that. Muslims also believe that.
Who?
That Yoshka is
Yeah.
Mashiach?
Joshua?
Yeah. You can check it up. Go on ChatGPT. Who's coming back? Who's coming back for the Muslims? He's their Mashiach. You know that, right?
Who's Joshua?
He's their JC Crackers.
I knew already.
I'm so happy you guys find that amusing. You guys have a sense of humor.
Ah.
Find it. You can look it on ChatGPT. You have ChatGPT? Type it up.
Oh wait, you gotta read the Quran for this.
Here's that's who they believe will be their Redeemer, Yoshka. Yoshka will come back.
What is your opinion on Jewish people reading the Quran and the
Do not read it.
Old Testament or New
Do
Testament?
not read. No, the New Old Testament we have to read.
No,
The New, the Gospels. It's called the Gospels.
You're 100% right.
The Gospels and the Quran, I don't suggest you to read it. First of all, it's a
Why?
waste of time.
Okay.
Oh, but you read it.
It's such a waste of time. It's so wrong. How is Miriam,
Yeah.
the mother of Yoshka, the same Miriam which is the sister of Moshe Rabbeinu and Aharon?
It was 1900 years apart.
I tell that to the person that wrote the Quran.
Crap in head history.
Right? How is camel piss healthy for you?
Wait, what?
Wait. What about
This is when you read the Quran.
They drink camel piss.
Okay, no.
They say it's good for you. It heals diseases.
Where did they come up with that?
Because back in Arabia, camels were very prized objects. It was part of your monetary value. So now they correlated that anything that has to do with a camel was chashuv. It's important.
Or was it just like they wrote it? And
It's like when the Gemara says, if someone gives a date to a woman, she's not mikudeshet. She's not married. Why? Because dates are less than a pruta. You know how much a pruta is?
10 cents? 6 cents.
Like let's say 8 cents. Let's say. You know why in Bavel in Iraq they said that? Because in Iraq there was such an abundance of dates that they were worth nothing. That's why the Mishnah brings an example of dates. Because it was written where? In Bavel.
Yeah.
So the Quran, which was written where? In Saudi Arabia, brought an example of what?
Dates.
Dates. But the Torah never does that. That's why the Torah has the ability to evolve through generation and generation. What do I mean by evolve? Not change, but to apply it to the generation. Technology. The Torah doesn't talk about technology. What? We should use it on Shabbat. No. It has fire, it has electric, and so on and so forth. So we correlate, we correspond, and we put it together, and automatically they become one of the same. Do you understand? That's why Judaism it's not a religion. It's not a religion, but it's everything. The more we run away from it, the more we deny the reality of life. Are you looking it up on ChatGPT?
Yeah.
If camel piss is written in the Quran?
No.
About a Yoshka?
No.
Of what?
I said, oh.
Say. Or just like, ChatGPT is not reliable for halacha. But okay, go ahead. What does it say?
You gotta cut this out when you post it on shorts.
Okay, well.
I said, what does camel piss have to do with Muslims and why do they hold it in such high regard?
And what did it answer?
I'm about to answer.
Read it.
It says the connection between comes from a hadith.
Oh, hadith. Sorry, not the Quran. Hadith.
Hadith. And in one narration, this is Sahih al-Bukhari and Sahih al-Muslim. A group of people fell ill and the Prophet advised them to drink camel mixed with milk next to the urine as a form of treatment, and apparently they got...
There you go. Drink piss, Muslims. It's gonna heal you. Camel piss, it has to be. Right? This is nonsense. This is shtiyot. No sense of medical understanding.
How are you gonna get flamed?
I don't care. I hit reality. Reality. Piss is not good for you. No, there's a mitzvah in the Torah to make fun of Avodah Zarah. Are you gonna tell me the Quran is not Avodah Zarah? I think people that say that never actually learned the ideology and the understanding of the Quran. You know, when they pray, they don't pray to Allah. You know what they pray to? They pray to Muhammad. You know how I know this? Can I tell you? The hadith says, you know how they start their prayer? Assalamu alaikum. We know who they saying that to? They don't say that to God. You know who they saying it to?
Muhammad.
To Muhammad. Look it up on ChatGPT. Look it up. That's called idol worship. You know, they believe, at least not the Sunni, I think the Shiite, they believe God has some sense of form, but a form we don't understand and we never saw, we don't understand. Because they believe the word as literal. And if it's literal, that means God has a hand, God has eyes, God has feet. This is Avodah Zarah, this is idol worship. Guys, this is idol worship. I hold like the Tosafot on this. I'm sorry, Rabbeinu Yonah. He holds that Islam is idol worship. Pure idol worship. 101%. Problem is, we don't dwell in their religion. Baruch Hashem, don't dwell in their nonsense. I always say, why to go to third place when you can go to first place? Right? What's first place? The Torah. Second place is the Christianity, what they say, and third place is the Quran. Everything else didn't even make one place. Right? This is first place. I told this once to a Muslim. He came to me, he stopped me for something, he was talking to me, I said, can I ask you a question, simple question. How do you believe in a God that changed his mind twice? First he picked the Jews, then he picks the Christians, and then he picks the Muslims. How do you believe in such a God? You yourself believe in your Quran that we're the chosen people. Or we didn't go right, we left, so he picked a different nation. Now you found a God that goes pick and choose. Why won't God leave the Muslims? Oh, because Muhammad said that he's the last prophet and there is no prophecy after him. And whatever he said, nonsense. Self-narrative. They pick their own narrative in order to fix in their box. I don't know how we got into Islam. I'm sorry, Rabbi Isai. But it's just good information to know, just for curiosity's sake, right? Okay, let's get back. Another 10 minutes and then we're done. How long has it been recording for?
49 minutes.
49 minutes, right? 13. Okay, very good. This is a proof in this week's parsha that Yoshka is not God. Second aliyah, first two psukim. Whenever a man will be obligated the death penalty and you will hang him on a tree, do not leave his body, his corpse, not really his body, his corpse, overnight you should bury him that
Same day.
day.
Yeah.
So the next day, when the believers of Yoshka came and they didn't see him hanging, what did they say? Who knows? He's God!
Resurrected.
He resurrected! He came back to life. No, you idiots. They buried him. Because even though he was such a bad person,
He was nonetheless a Jew.
he was a Jew. And the obligation of a Jew is to be buried the day he died.
So they mark where you're buried?
Yeah, the Ari says it's under a garbage dump in Svat.
Oh my god. Really?
Actually,
Oh my god.
That's where he's buried. Like, does the Gemara say he's swimming in excrement of animals? Yeah, the Gemara says. What's the problem? Does your book say that we should all die? Doesn't Matthew write that? Doesn't Paul write that? So what we say he's an excrement? What? It's hurting your ego of your God, so called. Imagine our most lowest Jew is your highest. Is a God. It's so stupid. It's funny, it makes me laugh all the time. I just think I think about it especially when I'm in the bathroom. I always say Mayim Machonim more to Yoshka. And I use the bathroom. Always. They say, how are you so cruel? I'm not cruel. Do we forget about 2,000 years of history of all the cruelty they did to the Jewish people? If we would have to take revenge for all the blood our people had, there would be no Europe, and there would be no half of Africa would be demolished, and a quarter of Asia would be done. But did we forget? We would have been the biggest population in the world. And God forbid, you guys are lucky that we don't preach. If Jews would preach in order to get people to convert, I'm telling you, we would rip them into shreds. We would rip them. Because we have proof. We have godly proof.
With 3 million people having an eyewitness, this is
nothing. These are a whole bunch of crazy people. Unfortunately. Because the people don't want to see the truth. You know what they fall in love with? They fall in love with the message. They fall in love with the messenger. Sorry, not the message. They fall in love with the messenger. They fall in love with Yoshka. They fall in love with Muhammad. They don't fall in love with God. We don't fall in love with Moshe Rabbeinu. I never met a Jew that just praises Moshe Rabbeinu day and night. I met Muslims that praise Muhammad day and night. I met Christians that praise Yoshka day and night. A Jew to praise Moshe Rabbeinu day and night, I never heard of. He's considered our greatest prophet.
what about there's some Jews that like praise the Olavic Rebbe and everything?
They're kofrim beikar. They're kofrim beikar. Sorry. Anyone that still holds that he's alive, begufo, is a kofir beikar. You cannot be with them in a minyan.
So you're saying that all...
Sorry, I don't want to get into that aspect. In that diaspora, it's a very sensitive topic to me personally. But they're kofrim beikar. He's not alive, he passed away. Accept it. Accept it, he passed away. Done. Was he Mashiach? 100%. He was. Was he Melech HaMashiach? No. He was not. He passed away. Unless if he comes back in resurrection, like Rashi says, quoting a certain part of the Torah and the Zohar, that some people say there's going to be a resurrection before Mashiach comes, one wave of resurrection. Maybe then. But if not, he's not. He's not Mashiach. End of story. Go weiter. Sorry, he's not Melech HaMashiach. That's my answer. It's not a phony baloney. Mashiach is there is in every generation. Mashiach means the anointed one. The anointed one. But to call him King Mashiach? No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I learn his Torah every week. Every day, actually. Not every week. Almost every day I learn his farm. Every day. But it's the truth. It's the truth. I spoke to big Mashpiyim and big Hasidim, and that's the truth. The ones that are true and honest to his teachings will tell you the truth. I'm sorry, but this is the reality. I sent my kids to Lubavitcher camps. The Hashkafa is amazing. But to say things that is against the Torah, I'll be the first one that will go jump against it. It's not true. It's not true. Does anyone have any questions before I finish?
Never gonna ask the reason of why we do
Why what?
sending the bird away.
Yeah. We'll have to wait next year for that.
Next week or next year?
Next year. Lina. Okay, have a great night. And see you next week.